All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and here we go again. I definitely had to bring y'all this video. Now, this one right here is something else. Now, checking this out by Ben, he said a White House official says Joe Biden will be dead in a year. He can't complete sentences in a shocking video. And not only that, another thing that I'm hearing is that this White House official was out talking to a young lady, but he didn't know she was an undercover journalist. And he pretty much spilled the beans on everything. He went as far as talking about Joe Biden is dying. He'll be dead soon. He went to talking about how Joe Biden was so mad after they kicked him out, pretty much just pushed him to the side and threw Kamala Harris up in there. He was even talking bad about Kamala Harris, talking about she ran a bad campaign. I mean, he was just saying everything, and he did not know he was talking to an undercover journalist. Y'all about to see everything in this video. Like I said, this right here is crazy, especially with this guy. And then, like I said, at the end, that's when you're gonna see another guy walk up to him and say, hey, you know, you were just talking to an undercover journalist. You just told the young lady everything that Joe Biden did not want coming out of the White House. And especially when him, you know, if he worked for Joe Biden, and especially when you coming out saying he'll be dead in a year, he's dying, like, wow. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video. It really helps get the video out more, and I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and let's go ahead and dive straight into it, y'all. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Your government lies to you, and they do it at peak volume. They will tell you to your face that Joe Biden is sharp as a tack, fit as a fiddle, and with more energy than a man half his age. They'll do that on camera. They'll lie to you. I don't know what's going to happen to their mortal souls, but I can tell you this. The people who are talking about Joe Biden behind the scenes are telling us, of course, the truth. And James O'Keefe is one of those guys who gets behind the scenes and has gotten behind the scenes with a member of the National Security Council. This is insane that James O'Keefe is able to get so many members of Joe Biden's inner circle on hidden video, some of the most classified documents and conversations that you can possibly have are inside the walls of the White House. These people clearly are entrusted with America's secrets, and James O'Keefe can bait them with Grindr dates to vomit up their deepest, darkest secrets. It really does speak to the level of arrogance and pomposity of people in Washington, D.C. We recorded someone inside the White House National Security Council spilling the tea. Stand by for recordings. Says James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Got it. Here we go.
He got caught on tape.
Undercover video. Joe Biden is dead. National Security Council advisor inside the White House details Biden can't say a sentence. Henry Appel, a former spy who currently works at the intelligence program's directorate for NSC, reveals, we're concerned about Trump coming after us. We're trauma bonded. There's a lot of tears. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Dude, seriously, look at this guy. These are the people running your government. They're so weak. They're so grotesque.
This is crazy.
All right, here we go. Here's the introduction, effectively, to who Mr. Appel is. Not the brightest apple in the barrel, Mr. Appel. Over a glass of wine. Apparently, this is all you need to play. Hear that? Hear that? China and all of everybody, all of America's enemies. All you need is a glass of cheap Cab Sauv in order to get all of America's dirtiest, darkest secrets and a Grindr profile, which is, I guess, James O'Keefe and a Groucho Marx mustache with a pair of glasses. Here we go. They're worried about Trump's revenge. Let's go.
Henry Appel stated that President Biden did not understand basic words in meetings at the White House.
Another time my boss went into briefing, I'd heard the talking points. I said, like, oh, this is like a novel phenomenon or something. I'm like, it's new, like, it hasn't been done before. My boss said it. My guy was like novel? Like, what do you mean, like a book? Like, what do you mean novel? The two meanings of the word novel, like, he lost them.
Henry even goes on to say, on his dating profile, his greatest strength is, quote, oversharing on the first date. You can't make this shit up. Henry Appel states that we, referring to his team at the National Security Council, were crying the night of Trump's victory, claiming they are all, quote, trauma bonded.
So everybody's probably like she's drunk right now, right? What?
No, wait, it's like drawn us closer to each other because like we're all going through it together. You know?
We shared trauma.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Trauma bond.
We're trauma bonded, yeah.
Right. What was it like when you guys found out?
There were a lot of tears the next morning.
I bet it was.
For sure. I gotta find a new job.
Then Henry Appel shares to our undercover journalist, White House officials and national security officials are concerned about the incoming Trump administration coming after them for things they may have done wrong.
We're also like kind of concerned about like them coming after us. They'd like investigate us or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you should be. Because
should be
you're incompetent at your
investigated.
job. It has nothing to do with you being a Democrat or appointed by Joe Biden. But, well, Joe Biden won't be around to protect you because you say that Joe Biden is mentally dead. I'm just going to assume that, right? It's like you just listen to the guy's words. Here's what he says. He says Joe Biden is dead. He can't complete sentences. He's like a walking corpse. I mean, we've said that before because that's kind of what he acts like and what he looks like. Here we go.
Prior to the undercover meeting, Henry informed our swiper on a text that he had a, quote, lot of tea to spill. Then in the meeting, Henry stated again, here's some tea, and spilled that tea on President Joe Biden's cognitive issues.
Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is like dead. What? Not better. Like he can't say a sentence. He's like really like progressed in his old age. Everybody recognized. I can't believe it wasn't a bigger scandal there.
Henry Appel from the National Security
Wow.
Council revealed a phone call.
Now, if you look at this right here, he's literally saying Joe Biden is like dead, and everybody knows it. So they pretty much, the White House, just let you know right there, they've been covering up for Joe Biden this entire time. And you got this guy right here that's pretty much just spilling everything. He like, you know what? Donald Trump done won. Let me just tell everything. And he's not done yet because he's going to get to Kamala Harris. So this just goes to show you right here that the media was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like Fox News when they were talking, like when they were saying that Joe Biden was mad, you know what I'm saying? Like when they kicked him out and threw Kamala Harris in because he felt like he can do a better job than her. But I mean, for him to come out and say like Joe Biden is like literally just, he's dead. Pretty much a walking corpse. And then he said, everybody knows it. Let's go.
Exchange he had with President Joe Biden. On the call, Biden was asking for NSC advisor Jake Sullivan. Henry told Biden that Sullivan had left the office for the day. Biden stated he would call Sullivan's personal phone. Instead, Biden called the same office 10 seconds later asking for Sullivan again.
Wow.
Biden asked, "Is Jake Sullivan there?" To which Henry stated, "No, you called the same office, Mr. President."
A couple weeks ago, I was like the last one in the office, and he called from my boss. And so I picked the phone and said, "Hello, Mr. President. Like, it's Henry on Jake's phone. He's left for the day, but I can try to get it on the line for you." And he like asked me some questions, and I was like, "I don't know. Like, let me get the track of it down. So don't call his Secret Service detail." He said, "No, it's okay. I'll like call his because he called me on the classified phone. It's like I'll try his unclassified phone." Like, and then he called, and then I was like, "Okay, well, let me know if you have any trouble." And then like 10 seconds later, the same phone. I picked it up again. I was like, "Hi again, it's Henry." He was like, "Is Jake there?" And I was like, "No, you called the same office. Like, let me call the Secret Service detail for you." So I did.
In another encounter with President Biden, Henry Appel shared that President Biden had called the NSC White House phone while on a foreign trip looking for NSC advisor Jake Sullivan. Henry told the president that, in fact, Mr. Sullivan was not at the White House, but on the same foreign trip as President Biden.
Another time,
Wow.
my boss was on an international trip with him, like Europe or something, and the phone rang in the office, and I picked it up, and I was like, "Oh, Mr. President, Henry." He was like, "He's safe there." He's like,
So Joe Biden called the office again and asked for the same person, but yet the person he's asking for is on the trip with him. And this is the person we got that a lot of these people put in office. Because Joe Biden should never even been in office. We know what happened back in 2016. We ain't even got to talk about that. But this man is just literally not fit. After, he even told him that, hey, he's not here. He's on the trip with you. And then turn around 10 seconds later, Joe Biden called the same office again, asking for the same person that's literally on the trip with him. And then now you got this guy. At this point, this guy here don't even care. He like, hey, we finna be looking for another job anyway. So he just pretty much telling everything. And he's not done yet. It's more.
"No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip that you are."
When was that?
That was like a year ago. He'll be dead in a year, or he'll be like out of public.
If you listen to what he just said he'll be dead in a year. Look at this right here. He said that right there was a year ago. And then he gonna go as far as say Joe Biden will be dead in a year. Cause first he was talking about Joe Biden is pretty much dying, and now he's saying he'll be dead in a year. Listen to this.
When was that?
That was like a year ago. He'll be dead in a year.
Wow.
He'll be like out of public life.
So I guess Joe Biden's National Security Council just has eyes and can see photos of Joe Biden looking like the literal ghost of Christmas past. It looks like the crypt keeper here. We don't talk about these photos enough. We don't talk about these photos existing enough. This dude is spent. Look at him. Look at this. Ugh. I mean, he actually looks like a wax statue that went through a shipwreck or some kind of horrible fire or earthquake, natural disaster. Like a wax mannequin. It looks like a wax mannequin of Joe Biden that got hit by a typhoon and melted down. It just doesn't look good.
Oh,
It's gonna have you're gonna need professional therapy. Anyway, O'Keefe wasn't done yet with this member of the National Security Council who's so smart and so secure. Apparently, Joe Biden felt pushed out by Kamala Harris. Knew that one was coming.
Our OMG American Swiper asked Henry Appel if they thought Donald Trump would win the 2024 election. Henry also went on to mention that Biden's team felt like they got pushed aside by Kamala Harris during the presidential campaign.
Do you think Trump is going to win? Is that
So I thought Kamala ran a terrible campaign.
what is really happening?
She just doesn't believe in anything.
So he pretty much saying that that Kamala Harris ran a terrible campaign and she don't believe in it. So a lot of these people in the White House pretty much knew Kamala Harris was just terrible, but they had to act like she was just this good person who was just going to go in there and just do the right thing and just destroy Donald Trump. But there was a woman who another one that couldn't complete sentences. She wouldn't answer any questions. She lied all the time. And she even ruined her own campaign the last, 2 weeks, calling Donald Trump Hitler. People didn't want to hear that crap. Nobody wants to hear that. And so now you got this guy, he's over here drinking and just telling everything. But he's not done yet.
That's not good.
I know that Biden and his team did not like that they got pushed aside.
Yeah.
Wait, so his people don't just connect with
Wow.
And obviously the favorite part of any of these moments is that time when James O'Keefe pops in and says, "You're on candid camera." Dear geeky Democrat staffers, if somebody who looks like the blow pick wants to date you, probably works for James O'Keefe. Your pal. Yeah, that's right. Well, that or Grindr. Don't know, but here's what we know. These clips are just absolute gold of O'Keefe. Dropping the Chris Hayes, right? Why don't you take a seat in the corner? Here you go.
In the last meeting with Henry Appel, Henry showed up to the restaurant, but he didn't find his date. He found me outside of the restaurant, waiting for him. Here's part of that conversation. Hi. Henry? Henry Appel? National Security Council. Hi. I gotta ask you a question. What the hell is the guy who's an advisor to the National Security Council doing? Spilling the, quote, tea to an undercover journalist.
He pretty much got him with that right there, because he pretty much just spilled the tea. He told everything. Joe Biden was mad about getting pushed out, which we pretty much knew that. But with it coming from like him, somebody that worked in the White House for Joe Biden, and he pretty much telling you, hey, Joe Biden did not like getting pushed out. He pretty much talking about Joe Biden is dying and he'll be dead in a year. They pretty much knew Kamala was bad. They scared that Donald Trump is going to come after them. They don't know what they're going to do. They got to find another job. I mean, this guy just told everything. So like I said before, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. But hey, this is what you get when you go out running your mouth, especially when you work at the White House. And then you come out and start telling this, and right now, oh, this right here is going to reach Fox News and stuff. Of course, CNN and all them ain't going to cover it. They only want to cover things that's bad, or they want to say that's bad about Donald Trump. But when they come out with Biden, they ain't going to cover it. But I can guarantee you more likely Fox News is going to see it, and they going to talk about it. So like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.